Hare Krishna. We welcome all the devotees for weekly remembrance session of our dear most Guru Maharaj. This week we are having Vansidhari Prabhu from ISKCON Baroda. Prabhuji came in Krishna consciousness around 2006. His name is Bhakti Swami Maharaj once visited NIT Bhopal temple for book distribution. That time he and four more devotees came in Krishna consciousness: Radhapat Prabhu, Rajan Krishna Prabhu, Abhay Charan Pro, and one more Balai Pro. So out of these, four devotees are brahmacharis and one is there. Prabhuji joined ISKCON Ujjain around, I think, 2010. And then later on he was serving there. Then he, as per the instruction of Srila Guru Maharaj, he moved to ISKCON Baroda. Currently, Prabhuji has was doing a lot of wonderful preaching, and now also he's continuing same. And currently he is serving as a assistant regional secretary for Gujarat, and he is pursuing the course for zonal supervisor course from GBC College. So we are having very great fortune today to hear from him. So we request Vansidhari Prabhu for sharing with us the wonderful moments with Guru Maharaj and his pastimes. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So thank you, Tarun Kanti Prabhu, for giving this opportunity. We will start with the prayers. Om Agyanati Mirandhasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Padantik Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Charu Swami Namo Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Some echo is there. If someone is there, we will.
Yeah, that echo will not come now.
Them to.
Yeah, it will not come now.
Okay. Yes.
So, yeah, when Prabhupada Prabhu asked me 2 weeks back about this, so my first reply was that I didn't have the good fortune to get so much physical association of Guru Maharaj, and so I was asking him that speaking for 1 hour, speaking for 45 minutes, 1 hour, how it will be possible. So Tarun Kanti Prabhu also told that you try whatever is there, you can try. So based on his instruction, I will try to narrate whatever I can recall. Actually, when we were in college, that was in 2006, and it was the 5th semester of the college. That time, one book distribution ban from Ujjain came to Bhopal, and that was the first time I saw some ISKCON devotee in my whole life. And in that van, His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj, then at that time he was His Grace Ganganarayan Prabhu. So he came to our college, and fortunately I learned the bike that time, so I went there to pick him up from New Market. That was the market near to the college, and he invited us for Ujjain, to go to Ujjain. And in 2006, by the last of 2006, I visited Ujjain first time. I was going to Indore, and then I visited Ujjain while returning from Indore. So that was the first time when I went to Ujjain, and that time Ujjain temple just opened. Means 2006, it opened in Nityananda Trayodasi, and we went by the end of the year, maybe November or December. So a lot of construction was going on. Gardens were not so much finished, and the front area was also, construction was going on. So we went with one of our classmates who knew Bhakti Maharaj from before. So as soon as we entered in the temple, and we saw that Guru Maharaj was walking in the garden. It was the morning time, around 9 o'clock. So Guru Maharaj was walking in the garden. We didn't know who is he, and that friend of us, he told us that you just bow down. We didn't know what is Ashtang Pranam, what is Sashtang Pranam. So he immediately bowed down, and we just followed him. And then he told that he is the spiritual master here, and he told that he is the Diksha Guru in ISKCON, and he introduced something. So that was my first darshan of Guru Maharaj in November 2006, first time. And first impression means Guru Maharaj was personifying the word Maharaj. Maharaj in India, Maharaj means the great king. And Maharaj also means a sannyasi. Sannyasi is called the Maharaj, and the great king is also called Maharaj. So first time I saw the combination of both of the things, like gentleness of a sannyasi and royal like king. Both the things I saw in Guru Maharaj's character. And so just by seeing him, one can understand that he is a perfect gentleman. Also, he carried the aura of a regal person, royal person with him. Like in Ocean of Mercy, we read that one of the famous lady told that this institution, her institution doesn't belong to Guru Maharaj, and he belongs to somewhere else. And the day he will surrender to that institution and his Guru, that day the whole world will come under his feet. That incident comes in Ocean of Mercy. So now when I read that, I realize that when I first saw him, it was true. I could understand what is the real meaning of Maharaj. And we stayed there, and next day there was the Guru Maharaj used to give Bhagavatam class that time, and it was the chapter first canto going on, first canto chapter 11 and 12, Lord Krishna's entering to Dwarka, and then birth of Maharaj Parikshit. So first time I heard those description. In that lecture, Guru Maharaj gave the background stories of Mahabharat regarding Bhisma's birth and the background story regarding the Bhisma Dev life. First time I heard that story in that first lecture from Guru Maharaj. And that same day evening, means this lecture was the next day morning, because we reached by the 9 o'clock. So next day morning, this was the lecture. But the same day evening, we heard the song first, Munindra Vandite Trilok Soko Havini. That was the first song which I heard from Guru Maharaj. And that day Guru Maharaj sang two songs, Madhurashtakam and this Munindra Vandite. So, and Abhay Charan was there with us that time. And when we heard that song, I told Abhay Charan we should get it somehow. So we asked some devotee, and they gave us the printed paper. So that song, later I found it from in the internet also. Then we downloaded, and eventually when I was in the college, so there was the laptop in my room, and I used to keep that song open for the whole night to these two songs. Eventually I added some more songs from that Krishna Bhavanamrit CD. So in the night time, I used to keep open the laptop, and these songs were coming again and again, replaying the whole night. So I memorized the whole song, and the tune was the unparalleled tune, Munindra Vandite. Even when we were coming back from Ujjain that time, so in the railway station, we were singing the songs, and we didn't realize that now it's not the ISKCON temple. We were singing the song Madhurashtakam and Munindra Vandite. And that time I bought the CD, Krishna Bhavanam, with all the 3 CDs. So that was the first interaction, first visit to Ujjain. About 2 days we stayed. And by that time, I was preparing myself to get initiated from Asaram Bapu. And he was about to come in our college the next month. This is from the November, and he was about to give initiation on 26 January 2007. To me, he was about to give, my name was being sent there. They told that you will get initiation in January. So I came back from Ujjain, and then I told that let me wait some time for, I will not take initiation, I will postpone it. And then eventually next time when I went to Ujjain, that time Bhakti Prem Maharaj gave a lot of time, and that time I cancelled the initiation from Asaram Bapu. So next time when we went, it was the initiation, it was the temple inauguration first anniversary, Nityanand Trayodasi. That should be in February 2007 sometime. So that time we met Guru Maharaj. Bhakti Prem Maharaj arranged our youth meeting to Guru Maharaj. So some of us, and we also took some more students from our batch and some juniors. So that time Guru Maharaj met us, and Guru Maharaj told that you are in one of the premier college in Madhya Pradesh, and he encouraged us to come to Ujjain more. He invited us for Rath Yatra, 2007 Rath Yatra, and then next month again we came, Gaur Purnima 2007, Nityanand Trayodasi, and then Gaur Purnima we came. And that day, first time I came to know from Guru Maharaj about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was telling, whole class he described about Lord Chaitanya. And he gave many Shastric evidences. I never heard the name of Gauranga because in Madhya Pradesh, he was not quite famous that time. I didn't know that who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So first time I heard from Srimad Bhagavatam Mahabharata, Guru Maharaj gave the explanation about Lord Chaitanya. I couldn't understand the whole thing, but somehow it got convinced that because they were worshipping Gaur Nitai in the altar. So I got convinced that he is, I was not so convinced that he is Krishna, means Avatari, but I knew that I could understand that he is empowered person or some incarnation of Krishna. That was the thing. And then the next visit we had in Jagannath Rath Yatra 2007. That time the administrative building was not finished. The offices, now in Ujjain they have the offices. That office area was not finished. The construction was going on. So we stayed in that area. And that time Guru Maharaj also came in that office area when we were living there. He just casually talked at that time. But he gave the youth class at that time, and in that youth class he told, actually the youth class was only for 7-8 of us, four of us from Bhopal, and I think similar 4 or 5 devotees came, 4 or 5 youth came from Indore. In that class, Guru Maharaj told, just offer this life to Krishna. Means he told the story about Srila Prabhupada telling him about this thing, and then he told, I am transferring that instruction to all of you. So by that time I was chanting 16 round, but we didn't know about joining, or that thought was not there. But we got that instruction in that meeting, just offer this life to Krishna. And after that, I started hearing audio lectures. I got the audio lectures from Ujjain devotees, and then I started hearing the audio lectures of Guru Maharaj. So Guru Maharaj's lectures on Queen Kunti's prayers, first canto lectures, whatever lecture he gave in Ujjain, that time I heard all those lectures. And then Bhakti Prem Maharaj used to encourage us to write mail to Guru Maharaj, eventually when we got passed out. So first mail I wrote to Guru Maharaj, it was a long mail, I introduced myself, and then the reply Guru Maharaj sent, that reply I till now also I may have that kept printout. I was in the company and I immediately took the printout. So Guru Maharaj replied in that mail that Krishna consciousness is actually the business of the heart, and intelligence people accept Krishna consciousness. The manner you have accepted it, it shows your intelligence. And these things he wrote in the letter. That was the main point. It was about 2 paragraphs he wrote. And then he glorified Bhakti Prem Maharaj also. He told that I am very happy with the preaching of Ganga Narayan Prabhu, because whoever meets him, he likes his nature and his behavior. So Guru Maharaj glorified Bhakti Prem Maharaj, and he told that you be in touch with Bhakti Prem Maharaj continuously, always be in touch with him, and he will guide you properly. So that was one of the instructions which
Yes,
Guru Maharaj gave
we
in
can
that
see
video.
this from you all only. Four of you were there in one batch, and all of you in temple, and all of you are just like on the leadership position and handling the different big projects. One is handling altar department at Avachanpu, and then Radhavatu Panihati, he is there, and Vajan Krishna P in Ujjain. And also, as Gurmaz mentioned, that this is the business of intelligent youth. We can see that I forgot to mention in your introduction also that Vajan Krishna P and others sometimes address you as an encyclopedia. So we are seeing here that how you are means remembering exact the kirtan, which kirtan Gurmaz sang, and how you all were engrossed in that. So that is we can see from that. Thank you so much, Roji.
No, it is because if we like something, the first impression, if we like something at the first impression, that then we can remember it for the whole life. So those two songs I heard at first, and I never heard in such sweet voice till that time. So I can recall those things. And after that, it was in 2008. Then Guru Maharaj came to New Delhi in 2009, and Bhakti Maharaj told us to, because we were working in New Delhi, Noida. So Bhakti Maharaj told us to go to New Delhi. We went, and then Guru Maharaj took us in some program to some devotee's house in Gurgaon also, and Delhi also. And we were ultra new actually, means we were chanting 16 round from one year, but we didn't know much etiquettes. So we had some etiquette mismatch here and there. We were not able to properly respect Guru Maharaj in a way we should have respected him. But anyway, Guru Maharaj tolerated this, and we were with him in the program. And then Guru Maharaj met, that time Radha Patu was also there in New Delhi. Myself, Brajendra Krishna Prabhu, and Radha Patu, we three went there. And Guru Maharaj called us personally and talked about each one of us, what we are doing, what is our plans. And again, Guru Maharaj told the same thing: offer this life to Krishna. Told the story and told the same thing, that you all are young people, and you should think in this manner. And during that time, actually, there was meeting. Actually, Guru Maharaj came for the meeting, ICC meeting or some meeting was there in ISKCON Delhi. And 2000, it was in 2010. So 2009 he came, 2010 again he came. And 2010 it was the meeting. And that time His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj got sannyas just before the meeting, some months before the meeting. So first time Guru Maharaj saw Bhakti Charu Maharaj, and he embraced him. That was in the temple hall of ISKCON Delhi. And we saw the interaction between Guru Maharaj and Bhakti Charu Maharaj. And Guru Maharaj was so happy by seeing the disciple of his Godbrother taking sannyas. And he talked with Bhakti Charu Maharaj for a long time. So we can understand his love for ISKCON devotees is unparalleled actually. And especially the disciples of his Godbrothers, he loves them so much. So that was the interaction when I was working. Then I couldn't meet him that year, 2011, when I went to Pune for brahmachari training. That time, Radhe Sampu invited Guru Maharaj for Saranagati seminar. 2011 and 12, Guru Maharaj gave Saranagati seminar in many places in India. Many temples he went. So he came to Pune in the March of, in 2011 he came for Saranagati seminar. And what happened, I was doing the training from some months there. And Parasuram Prabhu told me, Guru Maharaj was staying in his house. And I went to his house for getting some service. And he told me that you go and meet Guru Maharaj inside the room. So I went inside the room, and Guru Maharaj asked, so what you are doing here, and how long you have been in Pune. So I told Guru Maharaj I am doing brahmachari training here. So Guru Maharaj told, so you can come to Ujjain. And saying this, Guru Maharaj called Mukund Prabhu. Mukund Prabhu was the main financial director of Ujjain that time. So he called Mukund Prabhu and he asked my name, legal name. And I told the name, and he told Mukund Prabhu that tomorrow I am leaving from Pune to Ujjain. So this one devotee is coming with me. you book his ticket with me in the same flight. So I couldn't understand. It was kind of a shock for me also and for Swampu also, because I was not initiated that time. I just met Guru Maharaj for 3-4 times, and then I met in Pune for Brahmachari training. So Mukund Prabhu booked my ticket, and that was my fortune to travel with Guru Maharaj that time. Guru Maharaj was there, Vishnu Jan Prabhu was there, and myself. We three traveled from Pune to Indore. Whole time I was thinking that means I was it was very difficult experience for me. Difficult means I was not able to decide what to talk with Guru Maharaj and how should I behave. It was very difficult for me. And but now I remember that that journey was the best journey. What happened actually, Guru Maharaj seat, we came in the economy class that time, and Guru Maharaj's seat was behind our seat. Myself and Vishnu Jan Prabhu were sitting in the seat, and Guru Maharaj was sitting behind that seat. That was the allotment was like that. So we were thinking. I talked with Vishnu Jan Prabhu, but not with Guru Maharaj that time. Guru Maharaj talked something that uh, how much you were earning and where you were working. Like that, Guru Maharaj asked some questions, and it was a short flight, 1 hour 25-minute flight. So I can understand he was so merciful for ultra neophyte person also. He just met me in the room and then he booked the ticket and took me from Pune to Ujjain. So that's how I landed to Ujjain even before completing my Brahmachari training. I was not scheduled to go back that time, but by Guru Maharaj's mercy, he just ended my training there and he took me to Ujjain. And in Ujjain during that
Guru
time,
brought you to the Ujjain as soon as possible.
yeah. So that time Guru Maharaj was giving class on third canto. Kardam Muni and Devhuti section was going on. So in one of the class, Guru Maharaj explained about different types of marriages, Gandharva Vivaha, different Deva Vivaha, Rakshas Vivaha, these marriages. So I asked the question to Guru Maharaj that I asked some question regarding marriage, which kind of marriage and this. So Guru Maharaj didn't answer the question directly. He told, "Why are you asking this question? You don't have anything to do with the marriage. You are not going to marry in this lifetime." So after that, he smiled and then he gave the answer. But when the class ended, then devotees told, "Now you got the instruction that you cannot marry now." So that was I just came from Pune and it was in the beginning of classes. So when we were in Ujjain that time, there were many interactions. Guru Maharaj used to call us in his room, and during training time, I was supposed to read Prabhupada Lilamrit during Prasadam time. When devotees were taking Prasadam, I used to read Prabhupada Lilamrit for some time. Radhapat Prabhu used to read, and I used to read for some time. So one day when I was reading Prabhupada Lilamrit, Guru Maharaj came in the kitchen for seeing how the devotees are taking prasad, and he was observing, and when he saw that I was reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, he came and he just hugged me, and he was very happy.
Oh, God, the mercy of Guru Maharaj.
Happy, he told, continue reading Prabhupada Lilamrit. And then he was standing there, and I was reading. So it was difficult for me to even speak when he was there. So he heard for some time, very less, maybe half a minute or something. He stood there, and I was reading on mic, and then he went. So that was one of the intimate interaction. And when we arranged one program for Guru Maharaj in Indore, in the base, and that time Guru Maharaj, there was some problem in Guru Maharaj's leg. He had some leg injury. So he went inside the base and he was just about to give class, and he saw that lot of devotees were waiting outside. They couldn't get the space to fit in the hall, in the temple hall in the base. So he asked how to help those devotees, and we told Guru Maharaj that Guru Maharaj, they can sit outside. We will make the arrangement. But Guru Maharaj didn't like the idea. Then Guru Maharaj asked, "How big is the roof?" So we told Guru Maharaj, "Roof is bigger, yeah. Means roof is connecting many rooms." So then Guru Maharaj told, okay, let us go to the roof. And he had the problem in the leg. He was not able to walk properly. And by stairs, he went to the 3 floors, and then he gave the class. And he told, he was happy that all devotees were able to sit comfortably. So we can understand how sensitive he is for the care of the devotees. We felt bad that without lift he had to go to 3 floors because there was no lift, and we could see that why he was facing difficulty while going up because one leg was limping. So that was Guru Maharaj so particular about caring for the devotees. And in Ujjain, one thing I saw, one day we missed chanting this English translation of Guru Puja. So Guru Maharaj was very angry. He told that when the Guru Puja finishes, you must chant the English translation. The lotus feet of a spiritual master is the only way. He was very particular about that thing, and somehow we missed it. And Guru Maharaj could understand. I don't know he was there at that time or not, but somehow he came at that time because after Guru Puja he used to go in the quarter, but somehow he came down that day and he heard and he chastised that nobody should miss this thing after Guru Puja. That means he is so particular about glorifying Srila Prabhupada and trying to do the things which Prabhupada likes. Recently, I went to London, and then there I saw that almost in many Western temples they do this thing. The lotus feet of a spiritual master is the only way. So this custom might be there from the time of Srila Prabhupada. That's why Guru Maharaj is so emphatic about following this custom. And after my joining, my parents came and met with Guru Maharaj during Jagannath Rath Yatra in 2012, and they were very much impressed by Guru Maharaj. And my father told him in between the meeting that now our son is in the hands of you. Like that, they told that this is my son. We are offering it to you. And my father told after coming out that this Maharaj is so nice, and they have never seen such person like Guru Maharaj. Like that, my father and mother mentioned. And Guru Maharaj asked me in front of them that you should take care of them nicely. And when they're in the temple, they should get the prasadam regularly. Whatever things they need, you let us know, we will take care. So I was remembering the example of Srila Prabhupada meeting with the father of the Giriraj Maharaj. That is a famous example how Prabhupada took care of them, parents of Giriraj Swami Maharaj. Then when I was preaching in Bhopal, in NIT Bhopal, in 2013, Guru Maharaj came to Bhopal once, and he gave the big lecture in Rajiv Gandhi RGPV College for professors. And the lecture was meant for the teachers and professors of the university. And it was a very scientific presentation of Krishna consciousness. And somebody from the science background can appreciate it so much. I was from the science background, but I couldn't understand all the things which Guru Maharaj was speaking. That means Guru Maharaj had such deep knowledge of the science field also. Means he presented the whole matter in a way that he is speaking with the scientist. So that was his expertise in all areas. Recently, I heard when I was in Bhaktivedanta Manor with Bhakti Prem Maharaj. So one of our Godbrother, Kamlesh Krishna Prabhu from London, he was mentioning that when Guru Maharaj used to go from London Heathrow Airport to Bhaktivedanta Manor, so just near the Bhaktivedanta Manor, there are many trees. The road is in between, and the trees are out just both sides of the road. And he was telling that Guru Maharaj used to tell him the names of each tree which are coming on the side. He used to know the names of each tree which were there. And Kamlesh Krishna was telling that I don't know how he knows this thing, the name of the tree, scientific name of the tree. So it was like he was like the living encyclopedia. He had the knowledge of everything. And Devakinandan from Singapore, he told Guru Maharaj that he told about Guru Maharaj that Guru Maharaj is the perfect example of Yukta Vairagya. And he told that Guru Maharaj has touched the life of everyone. Means he had dealt with the common people also. Common people are so attracted to him, and he has dealt with most influential people, the biggest people in the corporate circle also, and he had attracted all of them. So he was telling that Guru Maharaj is the unique person who can attract the person on the road and the corporate person, the biggest corporate person, because he deals everyone with the love and devotion. So everyone becomes attracted. Then Guru Maharaj engaged me in altar department for a temporary time. I think 2 months, 1 or 2 months. Myself, Brajendra Krishna Prabhu and Abhay Charan Prabhu, we three they were there in altar department. And then shortly he sent me to Baroda. Actually, that is also a good story, because 1st January 2014 we got second initiation and saffron. 3rd January Guru Maharaj was supposed to go to Pune, and his flight got cancelled something, so he decided to travel to Pune by road. Normally he tried for train, but couldn't get the ticket in the train, and flight, something happened to the flight, so he had to go by car to Pune. And while going to Pune, it was late in the night, so he reached to Dahod in the night, and then he took some rest in one of the hotel in Dahod. And early next morning he was crossing Baroda, and in the morning he called Vasu Ghosh Prabhu that I am crossing from Baroda, so if you are in Baroda, then I can meet you. That time Vasu Ghosh Prabhu was here. Jasomati Nandan Prabhu was also incidentally in Baroda. So Vasu Ghosh Prabhu told Guru Maharaj to come here. And when Guru Maharaj came here, he had a meeting with Vasu Ghosh Prabhu and Jasomati Nandan Prabhu. And that time Vasu Ghosh Prabhu told that we need some devotees for youth preaching. So that time Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Maharaj was there with Guru Maharaj. So that time from here, Bhakti Maharaj called us that Guru Maharaj wants some devotees to come to Baroda. We are here now. So Bhakti Maharaj called me and he told that you decide 2-3 more devotees who can come with you. And yeah, and then I asked whom should I ask. So Bhakti Maharaj gave 3 names: Krishna Abhishek Prabhu, Bhakti Prabhu, and Ram Govind Prabhu. Bhakti Maharaj told, talk to these 3 and you 4 can come. And in the evening again Bhakti Maharaj called, because Guru Maharaj asked him whom you finalized. So Bhakti Maharaj then gave the name, and then next day morning Guru Maharaj called when I was in Indore. That time I was giving the class and Guru Maharaj call came in between the class. It was in the evening, I think morning time sometime. So Guru Maharaj then called and then told that I want you to go to Baroda as soon as possible. And these 3 devotees, because you are among these 4, you are senior, so you need to take care of these 3 devotees. And Guru Maharaj told that you may not get so much brahmachari association in Baroda, because there was less brahmacharis, no brahmacharis that time. So Guru Maharaj told that you may feel little bit vacant because Ujjain atmosphere you may not get, but one has to take the responsibility for the mission. So Guru Maharaj told you go to Baroda. And that day after Guru Maharaj's call, I just took the bus from Indore, came to Ujjain, and I told all 3 to pack the luggage and come, because Guru Maharaj told go as soon as possible. And next day again Guru Maharaj called Bhakti Maharaj when the ticket is booked. So we booked the ticket on 7th. Guru Maharaj call came on 5th, and 7th we booked the ticket. 8th morning we came to Baroda, and 8th evening Guru Maharaj again called that whether you reached here or not. And that time he talked with all 4 of us personally. He talked with me, then he told that I want to talk with Ram Govind, then I want to talk with Bhakta. So he talked with all 4 of us, and he sent Bhakti Maharaj here on that same day that you go there, they all are new, so you go there and stay for 1 or 2 days and then you go back to Ujjain. So Bhakti Maharaj came here, and he arranged our meeting with Vasu Ghosh Prabhu, and then that's how we came to Baroda. We started preaching here, and then Guru Maharaj used to come once in a year. And during Guru Maharaj's visit to Baroda, I learned many things from him, which I wrote in some of the notes. So those things I can share. Like one time when Guru Maharaj came to Baroda in 2017. So one time Vasu Gospu was here and Guru Maharaj just came out from the car and he saw Vasu Gospu was bowing down. So seeing Vasu Gospu also bowing down, Guru Maharaj also bowed down. Told him, no, you don't need to bow down. But Guru Maharaj told, because you are my god brother and it doesn't look good if you are bowing down, I should also bow down. And it shows that how humble he is and how much he loves his god brothers. And Guru Maharaj normally was not accepting Pad Prakshalan in Baroda because he was thinking that Vasu Gospu is there, his god brother. So in his presence, he should not do like this. So normally he was telling that no need of this. But this time we again and again asked him, and one devotee asked, and one of our vice president also asked him. So initially he hesitated, but then he agreed, and then he allowed devotees to wash his lotus feet. Immediately after that, Vasu Gospu told him to come with him for the newly constructed deity rooms and Brahmachari ashram. So Guru Maharaj was very tired because he was coming by car. So, but only because of Vasu Gospu's request, he went and saw everything. And in that time, there was one lesson which I learned by Guru Maharaj's chastisement. I was introducing Guru Maharaj before the lecture, and I told many things that he joined and took it. So in between the introduction only, Guru Maharaj became little unhappy, and he told me, means he didn't mic. He called me and told, why are you speaking so much about me? You should speak about Prabhupada and ISKCON. They don't know Prabhupada and ISKCON, and you are speaking about me. What is this? Like that. So he told, don't do this afterwards. If you want to speak about Prabhupada and ISKCON. Like that. That incident happened, but it didn't happen on the mic, so nobody came to know. He told me like this. I learned the lesson that Guru Maharaj is very particular about glorifying Srila Prabhupada. So if we are glorifying Guru Maharaj, we should make sure that Srila Prabhupada should be there in that glorification. Guru Maharaj's glorification should be accompanied with Prabhupada glorification. Then only Guru Maharaj likes. In all of his lectures, he always glorifies Prabhupada. I have heard his lectures. In every lecture, Prabhupada name will come. You can also notice in every lecture somewhere Prabhupada name will come, because his life is centered for Srila Prabhupada. So in all the lectures, he encourages everyone to take shelter of Prabhupada. That is one of the main point in all his lectures. And that time, some devotees from Surat came, and Guru Maharaj started taking prasadam in the noon time, but he saw that devotees were not there. So he called Surat devotees. He called Prakasanantu also, and Prakasanantu was hesitating to sit with him on the same the dining table, but he called him and he told us to serve Prakasanantu nicely, and other Surat devotees, because they came with him from Surat. So he was very concerned about their prasadam and their care. That's why he called all of them and he told us to serve them. When he was taking prasadam, together they also took prasadam. And he came out from the prasadam place and he saw many devotees waiting outside. He met all of them, and then he told, it was around 1:30, 2 o'clock. He knew that he had to meet all of them at 3 o'clock, and he need to take a little rest also. He had some meetings also, but still when devotees requested him at 1:30 or 1:45, he said he stood there and he talked with them 15-20 minutes. Then again he came at 3 o'clock and again he gave the class. And in that afternoon meeting, that was the meeting of the aspiring disciples. So when Mataji started crying during question answer session, and she told that by seeing Guru Maharaj, she is always immediately reminded of Srila Prabhupada. She told that in dream, I saw you and I was seeing in your personality Srila Prabhupada. So that was Guru Maharaj's effect. Whoever was connected to him, they could realize the presence of Srila Prabhupada. Presence of Srila Prabhupada in the sense he was made up of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So anybody who came in touch, they were reminded of Srila Prabhupada. Then Guru Maharaj came to Baroda on the night 28 November 2019. That was I think the last visit of Guru Maharaj to Baroda in 2019, because 2020 beginning time COVID started. Just before COVID, he was supposed to come to Baroda because, but by that time the lockdowns means people started panicking. So he cancelled his visit to Baroda and Surat and he went to Ujjain directly. So practically November 2019 was his last visit to Baroda. And that time Guru Maharaj came and some incidents happened. We made all the arrangement in the room, but the devotee who was making all the arrangement, he did everything, but he forgot to keep towel in the toilet. And Guru Maharaj came inside the room and first question he asked, is there any towel kept inside the bathroom? And exactly that thing we didn't do. And Guru Maharaj was not so happy. He told that you should notice these basic things. It was our mistake. Everything was there, but somehow it couldn't be done. And that evening, Surat devotees were taking prasadam. Suddenly Guru Maharaj came in the room and he stayed at the door. And standing at the door, he was telling me and one more devotee, Ram Gopal Prabhu, that this devotee like this item, you give him this, and this devotee like this, you give him this. He was standing at the door and he was instructing us to feed prasadam to the devotees. So spiritual master is like the father. So it is natural. He was caring like the father of all devotees. At the end, he asked me whether you took prasadam. So I told Guru Maharaj, yes, I took. So he told that, no, you have not taken nicely. You sit. And then he told another devotee to give prasadam to me. That was night 10 o'clock around. I think 9:30 or 10 o'clock. After the lecture finished and Guru Maharaj came up. And Guru Maharaj had to go early morning back to Ujjain. His train was about 3:30 or something. So he was not thinking to take any breakfast in the train, because morning 8 o'clock he was reaching to Ujjain, 7:30, 8 o'clock. So he told, I will not take any breakfast. And Krishna Kishore Prabhu told Guru Maharaj that some Matajis have brought prasad. He told inside the room. And Guru Maharaj replied that no, he will not take any prasad in the train. No need to take prasad. When Guru Maharaj came out, that Mataji requested Guru Maharaj to take some prasad. And she told 2 times. So Guru Maharaj smiled and told, okay, I will take some prasad. Then he told Krishna Kishore Prabhu to keep some prasadam in the train. So he is so much considerate for others' feelings and emotions. And that time when devotees were doing kirtan outside the compartment in the train, he came out of the train compartment and stayed at the gate. So for reciprocating with the devotees who were doing kirtan. And this video I saw some time back. I saw the video on Facebook, the little clipping, about 30 seconds clipping of that kirtan. Some devotee took it and put it on the internet. I didn't take it, but I was happy to see that was that clipping I saw in the Facebook. And Tarun Kantipu, do we have some time? 5 minutes?
Yes, we have 15 minutes. You can continue.
This is
you are saying you will speak only 20 minutes. Now it is 45 minutes. You have more time to.
This is about one more incident when Guru Maharaj visited Baroda in another year. So because when we were in Baroda, it was not so frequent for us to meet Guru Maharaj. So whatever happened during his Baroda trip, those notes I used to keep with me immediately when Guru Maharaj used to leave. I used to keep the diary. That's how I could recall those things. So although Guru Maharaj, pure devotee like Guru Maharaj exhibits Vaishnava ideal behavior all the time, but it is difficult for us to catch all of them. Whichever incident we can observe, we can write it down. Otherwise, our dull mind will forget them. So that time when Guru Maharaj came, this is in 2018, devotees decorated the whole pathway till the temple hall with the flowers. And Guru Maharaj arrived and came out of the vehicle. So he was not walking on the flowers. He was going side. But then one devotee requested him, then he started walking on the flower. So naturally he is very humble and he doesn't want any fanfare for him. And he is happy in all situations. But at the same time, when some devotee requests, So for pleasing the devotees, he accepts the request of the devotees. So he is very keen to make devotees feel happy. And for keeping devotees happy and for their pleasure, he accepts the facilities which are offered to him. For himself, he is always content. He is happy in all situations. And because he is always tasting the nectar of pure devotional service. But when we offer the service and facilities, he accepts them for our purification. And when he was taking darshan here, he was being given the arti plate to do the arti. And he offered obeisances to Gaur Nitai that time. He came back, he did the arti for all three altars. Then he came back and offered obeisances to remaining two altars. And then for a long time, he was seeing the deities. Each deity he was seeing for a long time. Okay. So yeah, so he's very strong and serious in following the rules and regulations concerning the deities, and his absorption is fixed on the Lord's Archa Vigraha form. And Guru Maharaj's memory is excellent. That time I told Guru Maharaj that Guru Maharaj, you will stay in the same house where you stayed last year. So he corrected me. No. I stayed last year in the temple guest house. 2 years back when I came, I stayed in that devotee's house. So I didn't know. I was not so particular about it. But Guru Maharaj remembered which places, when, which year he came and he stayed in which places. So we commit mistakes from due to our inattention, but the advanced devotees are very attentive and personal about each detail. And he was when I went to this Kashyap Prabhu's house to take Guru Maharaj to bring Guru Maharaj for the Bhagavatam class. That time he asked about how is the preaching going on, and he told that you all are very new here, so if some new youths join, you should not train them here. You should send them to Ujjain, because here you need to take some time for developing the system. At that time we were very new, only 3 years where we were here. So that time Guru Maharaj gave this instruction that if someone joins, send them to Ujjain, and when they become mature, then bring them here, like that he told me. And that time I was practically trying to grab every time whichever available. So in the morning time, just after Mangalati, I went outside of his room. So I heard that the voice was coming from inside. He was chanting his sannyas mantra. Then he chanted Guru Vastakam, Nrsimha Kavach, Nrsimha prayer. And he came, after coming back from Mangalati, he again recited the whole Guru Vastakam and Prabhupada Pranam mantra and sannyas mantra sannyas mantra of Avanti Brahman, and then whole Nrsimha Kavach. So these are the things. These are some of the things which I can recall from my various interactions from him. Okay. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Kanti.
Sorry, Prabhuji, that I got disconnected.
Okay. Yeah. So
All done? Or you
yeah.
want-
No.
Thank you so much. You shared wonderful pastimes of Srila Guru Maharaj. And really, it was a wonderful pastime and lot of teachings in that. If any devotee is having any question, they can ask. If anyone wish to ask something about Guru Maharaj or any pastimes from what Prabhuji shared, so they can ask also. Or if you have any more pastime, you can share that too, if you wish to.
The pastime which I recall the most that I shared, but that is one of the most deepest lesson which I learned when Guru Maharaj corrected me about while giving his introduction. Means I explained also He was visibly very unhappy when I was telling about his glories. Although it is our duty to tell his glories, but I saw his face was not happy because I was not telling the name of Prabhupada and ISKCON. So he means he could have chastised me after the class, but I think 200-300 devotees were sitting. But he called me and he he switched off the phone, that mic, and then he told me that you don't know these things, you are not telling about Prabhupada and ISKCON. That means Guru Maharaj's heart is in Prabhupada actually. He is the really Prabhupada man and ISKCON man. That is his heart. If we are not developing our surrender for Prabhupada and his mission, then Guru Maharaj will not be happy. Even if we are trying to serve Guru Maharaj, but we are not developing our surrender for Prabhupada and ISKCON, that means Guru Maharaj will not be so much happy. I learned from that incident very clearly because I saw his face. He was visibly unhappy that time. So this is one of the deepest lesson which I learned from him.
Thank you so much, Oji, for sharing this wonderful and deep lesson from Guru Maharaj. So if any devotee is having questions, so we can take that, else we can wind up the session here, or if you want to share something. And thank you so much. Really, you share wonderful pastimes of Guru Maharaj. And hopefully, see, as I was telling you yesterday that yes, it will go around 1 hour. So it is obviously around 52 minutes, 54 minutes. So thank you so much. He was ready. Just yesterday only I asked you, so he was prepared. Okay, you will deliver this whatever you know about Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for that, and we thank all the devotees also for joining us. And next week also we will have the session. We will announce in the group. Thank you so much, all devotees, and thank you so much, Rosie. Okay.
Okay. Nice.
Thank you, Rosie. You can do Jai Dhoni, then we can end.
Jai Sri Bhakti Charu Swami Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.
Hari Hari.
Hari Hari Bol.